Every now and then you find something on the internet that just stops you. These little fragments of text that feel like a message in a bottle, or maybe a ghost in the machine. Well, today, we're going to deconstruct one of those ghosts. A really strange, weirdly beautiful, and completely accidental work of art. I can't wait to show you this.
It starts with this, a feeling of just complete dislocation. It's a single, haunting line that sounds like it could be the start of a confession, or maybe even a cry for help.
And then you get this, a search for self. It's a fragmented thought, right? Something about identity. The grammar's broken, but you can feel what it's trying to say. It's so strange and kind of intimate.
Then, a command. Or is it a plea? Look at these eyes. It's trying to get our attention, to make us focus on something personal, something human. But whose eyes are we even supposed to be looking at?
And then, bam! This line hits. It's this sudden pivot to defiance, a declaration of independence that feels so powerful, and it comes completely out of nowhere. So what on earth is going on here?
Okay, so if you take all those lines together, they feel like they have some serious weight, right? Like there's a real story to tell. But with zero context, we're just left here to try and piece it all together ourselves. So let's do that. Let's treat this thing like a literary artifact and break down what we're seeing.
When you really look at the text as a whole, it's got these incredible poetic qualities. You've got these disjointed stream of consciousness thoughts, this profound feeling of being lost, this deep search for self, and then that final, powerful, defiant statement. I mean, it seriously has all the hallmarks of some piece of experimental poetry.
Which brings us to the big question. What are we actually reading here? Is this some lost poem from a forgotten writer? A really raw diary entry? Or could it be something else entirely? Maybe a coded message hidden in plain sight?
Well, the answer? Turns out it's none of the above. The truth is actually far, far stranger, and honestly, a lot more fun.
So after all that digging, after feeling the weight of those words, where did they actually come from? The source is really the key to unlocking this whole mystery.
Yep, that's right. All that angst, all that poetry and defiance, it all came from the garbled, machine-generated captions of a video about how to apply eyeshadow. It's not a poem. It's a technological failure of the most beautiful kind.
So the original video is in Portuguese. The title is basically The Best Eye Makeup Tutorials New Year's Eve. Our profound existential text is just what happens when a machine tries and fails spectacularly to understand a language it was not ready for. So how does a guide to creating a smoky eye turn into a meditation on identity and being lost? Well, it's actually a multi-step process, where each little error just builds on the last one, creating this cascade of beautiful confusion. Okay, so here's the breakdown. First, the AI is listening to Portuguese, a language it seems to barely recognize. It writes down its best guess of what it's hearing, which is already flawed. Then, a second system takes that already broken text and translates that into English. It's basically a game of telephone played by two very, very confused robots. And this comparison really shows you just how wild that gap is. A simple instruction like apply concealer somehow morphs into the deeply introspective I may be myself closer. An invitation to look at this eyeshadow becomes the intense demand to look at these eyes. I mean, the original meaning is just completely, utterly gone. This quote from the transcript itself just perfectly sums up the AI's total confusion. It doesn't hear Portuguese as a language, it just hears gibberish that it labels foreign. It's like a digital ghost, trying its best to describe a world it simply does not understand. So, if the machine didn't mean to create art, can we still call it art? This question takes us into the really fascinating world of found art, where the meaning doesn't come from the creator at all, but from the person who discovers it. And our transcript fits this perfectly, doesn't it? It was created by accident. We've totally removed its original context, the makeup tutorial, and we, the observers, have given it this new, poetic meaning. The glitch isn't a flaw in the system. The glitch is the art.
And this is the most crucial point. The AI wasn't having an existential crisis. It was just failing at its job. We are the ones who are hardwired to find patterns, to find meaning, to see a human soul in the random noise of a machine. We're the ones who turned a bug report into a poem.
Let's just come back to this line for a second. In the original video, the creator was probably talking about, blending eyeshadow out towards her temple. But for us, Now, it's become this perfect metaphor for the entire journey we've been on, a trip into the unknown, led by a machine's beautiful mistake.
And that really leaves us with a final thought to chew on. In a world that's getting more and more filled with AI, maybe the most interesting art won't be what machines create on purpose, but what we as humans discover in their errors. So can a machine's mistake truly become a human masterpiece?